What's up and welcome. This is me, you, and Switch 2. I am me, Tom Tate, and you are you, so we are going to talk about Switch 2. This is the latest and greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news, brought to you every Tuesday and Friday in snackable 10-minute episodes. Today is Tuesday, December 9th. This is episode 55. I hope that you had an awesome weekend. We've been getting into the holiday spirit. We took the kids to Philadelphia this weekend. We did some holiday things. We saw some lights. We went to this Shrek interactive thing called it's called the Universal Sphere. I think that's like Universal Pictures. I think that Spielberg had something to do with building this, but you kind of just go into this big sphere and it's like an IMAX like experience. It's surround sound, the visuals surround you, and it was like a Shrek holiday show. It was pretty cool. Wrapped some gifts, played some games, but now I'm grateful to be back here with you running through the latest Switch 2 news. Last episode, I ran out of time to talk about Marvel Cosmic Invasion, so we're going to dig into that first. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a retro-style beat-em-up game, very much in the style of TMNT Shredder's Revenge, if you've played that. And it makes sense because they share the same developer and publisher, Tribute Games and Dotemu. It's been reviewing pretty well. I'm definitely excited for this game. I'm going to pick it up. IGN's Will Borger gave it a 7 out of 10. He said the stages and enemies aren't going to blow you away, but Marvel Cosmic Invasion's tag team action still has the juice. Polygon's Michael McWhirter, he said probably the best way to play Marvel Cosmic Invasion is with a friend nearby, offering a window into the way these games used to be played decades ago, standing side by side at an arcade cabinet. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is perfectly fine to play solo, especially if you're a fan of certain Marvel age and enjoy things like She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall. But if you're hoping for something that radically reinvents the beat-em-up genre, you better look elsewhere. I really like this note here about the way these games used to be played. For me, it was couch co-op games on the Nintendo Entertainment System and, of course, the Super Nintendo. And it was playing arcade games. I remember the 4-player X-Men game was fantastic. The 4-player Simpsons game was so amazing. We used to have skating parties at our local roller skating rink, and they had the Simpsons game. And it was the only place nearby that had it. And when we got there, we just played the heck out of that game. So I love this genre. Nintendo World reports Neil Ronigan called it cosmically delicious, giving it a 9 out of 10. Summary from Neil. He said, pros, 4-player, local, and online crossplay. Cosmic swap mechanic is spectacular. Excellent artwork, incredible voice work and soundtrack. And the cons, lack of difficulty options for campaign mode, some minor technical issues on Switch. Nintendo Life's Tom Massey gave it an 8 out of 10. And his joys, universes collide in epic style. It's the best Marvel scrolling beat-em-up to date. An enormous character cast with impressively varied combat repertoires, plenty of content, unlockables, modes, and online multiplayer to work through, a smartly implemented tag team mechanic that really adds dimensionality to the combat, and the cons, tediously easy on medium, while hard mode, a vast improvement, needs unlocking. Visual feedback elements are lacking in places, stealing some of the game's thunder, and combat is detailed, complex, and varied, but not quite as satisfying as some other recent efforts. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a pickup for me. This is probably going to be kind of a couch co-op Christmas break playthrough. Looking forward to kind of playing with my son. This game's going to be great. I'm excited. So since I started this podcast, I've spent a lot of time reading Nintendo news and Nintendo content. And I have to say, I have to give a quick shout out. Nintendo Life is probably my top source. They do such a fantastic job reviewing ports. So real quick, I wanted to just touch on the release of Red Dead Redemption on Switch 2 and Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'll link to the full reviews in the show notes from Nintendo Life, but here's the TLDR. If you want to hear how these games have been doing, Nintendo Life, again, has just been great with this type of content. Ken Talbot gave Assassin's Creed an 8 out of 10. Joy's the best open world in the series. Neo and Yasuki are both great to play as. Overflowing with content, enjoyable, versatile combat, a wealth of accessibility options, kittens and puppies. I don't know what that means. I haven't played the game. Cons, unstable frame rate when undocked, some presentation issues resulting from the port, and lots of tedious quest design. So 8 out of 10 for Assassin's Creed. PJ O'Reilly gave Red Dead Redemption a 9 out of 10. Joys looks and plays fantastic in docked and handheld modes. 60 frames per second hasn't dropped a frame in our time re-exploring. Resolution jump makes for super clean and modern look. Game itself is every bit as good as ever. Riding into Mexico has never looked better, all DLC included. Only one con, and that is no multiplayer is still a shame. So if you missed those games on other platforms, it's pretty great. You can now play them on Switch too. In other news, Starship Troopers announced a retro-style first-person shooter called Ultimate Bug War, which will be coming to Switch 2. This is published by Dotemu, who we just mentioned as the publisher of Cosmic Invasion. This will take place 25 years after the original film, and it looks just as campy as the movie, which I haven't watched in a long time, but I remember it being incredibly entertaining. Did you know, this is a fun fact, did you know that you can use a Google Pixel phone as a webcam for game chat on Switch 2? I didn't know this. Apparently, other phones work too. So if you're looking to do game chat on Switch 2 with a webcam and you don't have one, you can use third-party webcams, but you can also use a phone, which I never would have guessed. So you can try that out today. Apparently, it's working with most Google Pixel phones, which was a problem before. Now it's fixed. In new releases, we have Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, Storm Lancers, and Farming Simulator all releasing today, December 9th. Little Rocket Lab releases tomorrow, and Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader releases on Thursday. So we got a few games coming out this week. We also have the Game Awards on Thursday night. Always a good time. I always enjoy Jeff Keighley's Game Awards. Some years better than others. I'm hoping for a few surprising reveals. That's always my favorite part of it. I miss the E3 days when you just get a dump of all these amazing new announcements and games and new trailers, but we'll see what we get. Usually we get some good world premieres. I'll be back on Friday with the latest news, and maybe I'll drop a Game Awards bonus episode if it turns out to be a good one specific to Switch 2. But that's it for today. I want to thank you, as always, for your time and your attention. A quick rating or review really helps me continue to grow the show. Definitely helps. Apple Podcasts is probably the best place if you're looking for an opportunity to leave a star rating. You don't even have to write anything, but if you do write something, I'll definitely read it on the show. A recommendation to a friend, family member, Discord community, or subreddit goes even further. We're on Apple Podcasts, as I mentioned. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere that you should find podcasts. Switch2pod.com for all the things. Much love. Now go play some games.